All right, here we go. Welcome to my summer home. Let me show you around a little bit. Let's see here. It's a little dirty. I've talked to the mate about that one. Never get tired of this view. This is my front yard, this is my side yard, and this is my backyard. Oh, okay. My neighbors get a little loud once in a while, but that's all right. I like that. I'm Kevin Millar, and this is my summer home. Am I moving too much, so I wonder?
Closed captioning for W.B. Mason's Extra Innings is brought to you by Aflac, Dunkin' Donuts, Verizon, W.B. Mason, and the Yawkey Foundations.
From our Fenway Park studios, W.B. Mason's Extra Innings.
What a day. I have chest pains, Tukes, right now. I'm telling you something. What a ride it was today to watch this ball game. Up and down the roller coaster ride of emotions. Bob Rogers, Bob Tewksbury, nice to have you with us. And, you know, we would have probably had a whole show of bashing Grady Little if this had gone a different way. But again, this ball club is so resilient. Well, I have so much respect, Tukes. You have guys like Johnny Damon, who was beat up and bruised against the Yankees. He's in there today, and Trot Nixon, obviously, the huge home run.
Well, I'd rather win ugly than not win at all, and the team will take this as they head to Chicago, I'm sure. But this 14 walks by the Phillies, 3 leadoff walks to the Red Sox batters, scored run. The offense has been so resilient that it just continues to bail out some pitching issues late in the game where the team doesn't have a shutdown inning. The Sox took the lead 7-5, I believe, 7-6, and they couldn't hold the lead in the bottom of the 8th. So I just think that the offense is just so resilient.
Well,
those guys are incredible.
At some point, I mean, you were a pitcher. At some point, don't you feed off of this? Don't you look at this and say, I mean, it's like, sometimes it's like football where you have the offense against the defense, and, you know, the offense is scoring a lot of points, but the defense stinks. At some point, the defense gets the pride. Here, you would think the pitchers at some point are going to pick up the slack.
Well, that's the way that the ebb and flow of a season is supposed to happen. You're supposed to get great starting pitching and get to the 7th inning, and then the bullpen does this, you know, inning batter matchup type of thing. It hasn't been very good lately, but the offense continues to come back from deficits that are just crazy. 4-0 at the beginning of the game.
All right, Jerry Remy called the ball game with Sean McDonough today, and Rem, it was ugly, but we're going to take it back here in Boston.
It was ugly, very ugly, and I think I mentioned during the game you probably saw better pitching in the Little League World Series than you did here today in this ball game. But you know, the Red Sox did what they've been doing all season long, really, and that's continue to battle. And you know, sometimes when you battle like they do, you win some, you lose some. But today they came back and they won this ball game. Incredible game. I mean, it's hard to go back and even remember some of the things that happened earlier in this ball game.
You're right, Jerry. We actually had a laundry list of things to talk about, and it's too long to
Please
even
don't
go.
ask.
Even too long to go. How about Trot Nixon's at-bat, though, and just coming through like that? He's one of those guys on this team, with all the controversy right now with Manny Ramirez and whatnot, he's one of those guys that I think Red Sox fans can look to as one of those consistent performers. You
know, that's why, you know, for years now, over the last 3-4 years, I've been a big booster of, obviously, Trot Nixon, only because of the way he goes about his job. Never mind the talent that he has, and that talent continues to come to the top. He gets better and better each season, and today was a great example of that. I mean, the guy gets hit on the hand in the previous at-bat against a left-hander. He goes up there against Turk, and he gets that breaking ball and just loses it for the grand slam. 6 runs batted in, a career high for Nixon today, and just another great performance by him.
Well, Jerry, you see the character of a guy like that. I mean, he got hit in the hand, I think, pretty hard, and he stayed in the ball game. It's amazing what you can do when you're not feeling well, isn't it?
Yeah. A lot of guys not feeling well this morning when they had that wake-up call about 5:30. But you know, that's my point. We come down here in kind of a nuisance game. You know, it's a make-up game against the Phillies, against a good ball club, against a team that, you know, is in contention for a wild card spot. It's a very long day, but you come out with a win like this, and hopefully this is one that'll get him off to a great start on this very, very difficult road trip.
Jerry, a big point in the ball game. Mike Timlin comes into that inning in the 7th inning. The bases loaded, nobody out. He gets out of the jam. We're back here watching it, and Tukes was like, okay, now from a pitcher's perspective, you can't go out and pitch the next inning because you're emotionally gassed. They leave him in, and exactly what Tukes was saying happened. But even still, with what happened in the following inning, you have to tip your cap to Mike Timlin.
Yeah, you do. I mean, bases loaded to come in, and Timlin really not considered a strikeout pitcher, but he came in and got some big outs there, left the bases loaded. And I agree with Bob. You know, we saw him pacing back and forth in the dugout between innings, a very long inning. And when you do something like that, you're just emotionally spent, and that seemed to happen to him. He comes back out, gives up the home run, but you know, at that particular time, it was a huge huge time in the ball game to get those 3 outs, obviously. I mean, that's an understatement.
All right, Jerry, enjoy the trip to Chicago.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
All right, long day for the Rem Dog and the entire crew to bring us Red Sox baseball today. But it was all worthwhile. Time for the start of the game, brought to you by Subaru of New England. And you know who it's going to be. When you hit a game-winning grand slam, it has to be Trot Nixon.
Boy, he got that one. I'm along with Jerry. I admire this guy, his work ethic, and he comes to play every day, and he got the big hit today for the Boston Red Sox.
Gosh, Dukes, you make the great point, too. Here's a guy that gets hit in the wrist. Obviously, that hurts. He stays in the game. And you know, you can make a point, you laugh about it. Some guys do play when they're hurt, right?
Imagine what can happen when you don't feel well.
Start of the game is brought to you by Subaru of New England, driven by what's inside. Okay, we're going to keep this as positive as we can. Right now, though, let's go back to Philadelphia. It's Tom Karen.
Thanks very much. Trot, a big day for the team offensively, obviously. Tell me the way that 9th inning came together. And as you watched it unfold in front of you, what was going through your mind as you realized you'd get a chance to get up?
Well, I mean, we had some guys have some great at-bats. Started off with Doug Mirabelli, you know, coming in there. Damian Jackson got a key hit. You know, Johnny Damon made it out, but he almost got a hit there, too. And then it's just like a chain reaction, you know, guys having great at-bats, walking. Nomar had a great at-bat. Kevin, so did Lou. And those are the key things right there in that one inning that allowed me to come up and get my swing. You know, it wasn't my swing that, you know, put the exclamation. It was those guys having those good at-bats, making those pitchers work a little bit harder, try to hit that strike zone. And we're just fortunate to come back and win this game. You know, first thing I did when I woke up this morning, I blessed my family and I asked the Lord to look down on this team and bless us because we're on an important road trip here. And obviously that's what he's done today.
And you crushed it when you had the chance. What were you looking for? What was the pitch?
I'd actually talked to Dave Wallace a little bit and Papa Jack. Dave has seen Turka quite a bit more than I have, and I was just sitting on all speed stuff looking for a slider, and he just made a mistake right there, and I was fortunate. When a pitcher makes a mistake, you also got to swing that bat, and I was fortunate to put the bat on the ball and get up in the air.
8th inning, you were hit by the Real Cormier pitch. Where did it hit you, and was there any chance you were going to come out of the game at that point?
No, it hit me in the hand. Nicked my arm to hit me in the hand, but I wasn't going to come out of the game. It didn't hit me that bad. You know, a couple inches here and there, you know, I probably could have broken a finger, but, you know, the good man upstairs looking after me again. So I was fine, you know, and just glad to get Billy that at bat. You know, he had a tough at bat right there. Cormier is a great pitcher, but I think this game showed the resiliency of not only the Red Sox, but also these guys out here too. And it was a great game for everyone out there.
John, let me ask you finally, I mean, how big a win is it? You know, they scored 3 in the 8th. They're a playoff contender right now. You're coming off 2 tough losses. To get 6 in the 9th against a playoff team in September, how big a win is that?
It's a huge win. You know, no matter how you get these W's, you got to do it. And, you know, I think it just goes to show you what this ball club's made of. And to come out there, you know, it's a rough inning right there. They took the lead coming in the 9th, and they got a real good closer over there. And for us to go out and put a 6 spot up, I think I heard Luke Merlone say these guys are capable of dropping and putting a 6 spot on them, and that's what we went out there and did. So it's funny how things work, but I'm glad it worked out. So now we got to go and play a tough Chicago White Sox team and hopefully take 2 from those guys.
All right, Trot, thanks.
Thank you.
Trot Nixon with us, a grand slam in the 9th inning. Let's go back to our Edison Studios in Boston.
Tommy, thanks very much. Those Chicago White Sox right now with a 1.5 lead in the division. They're involved in a very tight race. The Phillies are as well. Devastating loss for Philadelphia. Tom Karen's going to go and talk to Grady Little in just a little bit. I wish we had another camera crew to go into the
Phillies locker room. Ooh, boy, yeah, Boa just went off on him not too many days ago, and it sounded like a little mutiny by the players. And that what happened today is cause for concern over there, too.
The Red Sox now 11-8 in interleague play. A year ago, they went just 5-13, so certainly much better this season. Let's open the phone lines. Let's talk about this one. It's 1-866-ASK-NESSON, 866-275-6376 on an afternoon in which the Red Sox work 4 hours and 4 minutes on Labor Day.
Keep your summer going strong and help a very worthy cause. It's the Giant Glass Challenge to benefit the Boys and Girls Club of the Lower Merrimack Valley on Sunday, September 14th at the Salisbury Beach State Reservation. For just $5 per person, you and your family can enjoy a delicious barbecue, a kids' carnival, and more.
This is Dennis Drinkwater from Giant Glass. Bring the whole family for a fun run or walk on the 6 miles of Salisbury Beach to help support the Boys and Girls Club of Lower Merrimack Valley.
Call 978-462-7003.
Your Dodge dealers are counting down the final days of the summer sales drive. It's your chance to get no extra charge lube, oil, and filter changes for up to 7 years. Plus, make 0 down payment, 0 payments until 2004, and get 0% APR financing or cash allowances of up to $4,500. All with our 7-year, 70,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. But get rolling, because the final day's countdown ends September 2nd. See your Dodge dealer for the best values in America.
Hard work. Experience. Lead to success. Hamill, Waxler, Allen, and Collins. Personal injury law.
Red Sox fans are very intense. I'm not saying they're certifiable, but they really need to be licensed.
Show your support for New England's 2 favorite teams with your own official Red Sox Jimmy Fund license plate. The plate shows off your commitment as a fan, and the proceeds benefit the Jimmy Fund.
We think of it more as a tag and release system, so we can keep an eye on you.
To get your license plate, visit your nearest Registry of Motor Vehicles office or log on to jimmyfund.org. Today's show is brought to you by W.B. Mason, the official office product supplier of the Boston Red Sox.
All right, it's just a one-game series for the Red Sox in Philadelphia. Yes, Manny Ramirez did make the trip, and he was on the bench for much of the game. He did not play. We're going to find out if that was a manager's decision or did Manny say he was unable to play. Let's give you the action at the bottom of the first. Pat Burrell, 2-run single. Philadelphia jumps out to a 2-0 lead. Bottom of the second, Jimmy Rollins against Jeff Suppan. Suppan was not good.
He wasn't sharp today. I'm surprised. He went 6 innings, giving up 10 hits, but the Sox got enough runs, bailed them out.
4-0 Philadelphia. The Red Sox start the comeback in the top of the third. Nomar chops one down the line. Great play by Tomas Perez.
Barehanded play down the line by Perez, and they use the AstroTurf to bounce the ball to Tomey.
Johnny Damon scored on that one. Kevin Millar, a couple of batters later, will play Todd Walker. The lead is down to 2. It's 4-2. Still in the top of the third, Trot Nixon down into the right field corner. David Ortiz will score. It's a 4-3 game. Then it's Bill Miller's turn. He'll send one to Jim Tomey, and Millar scores. We're brand new 4-4. Top of the 4th inning, 2 outs. The base is loaded for Trot Nixon, and Mr. Nixon will deliver again.
Got a little bit of a hanging breaking ball there, Trot. That was just the beginning of what turned out to be an exciting day for Trot.
Close play at the plate, and tell you what, David Ortiz is called out, but is this a good call or not?
Well, I think he missed the call, but he ran through the stop sign, and you got to slide. I think that the perception of the umpire by a runner, especially at home plate, not sliding, indicates that he may be out.
Well, he was tagged out with the glove. Looked like the ball was in the bare hand. In any event, the Red Sox were up 5-4. Bobby Abreu, though, will plate 2 with this hit in the bottom half of the inning. That shutdown inning you were talking about, Tukes. Red Sox couldn't get it done. It was 6-5. Then it's Mike Timlin to come in to close the door. Huge with the bases loaded.
Well, you got to have no contact on the first hitter you face. He strikes out Burrell.
Top of the 8th inning, David Ortiz with the Sox down by a run, and he will put the Red Sox out in front. Damian Jackson and Nomar both come in to score. The Sox up 7-6. This was a wild game. By the way, Ortiz was on third base. They would pinch run for him. He did not score. The run never came in, so this lead was still just 1 single run, and Ricky Leday will get that one back with a home run to tie it up 7-7. Later in the 8th inning, the bases loaded for Jim Tomey, not the guy you want to see.
Well, not with Alan Embry. 1-pitch pitcher and a fastball hitter, and there it goes. That takes the lead for the Phillies.
2 runs will score for the Phillies, makes it 9-7. But these Red Sox keep on fighting. Lou Merlone, little chopper to third. Doug Mirabelli scores. It's 9-8. And then with the bases loaded, Kevin Millar looks at ball 4. We are tied 9-9. Jose Mesa was not good. Trot Nixon, though, he was very good.
Again, there's a ball center cut, middle of the plate, and he got it. Oh, off the Budweiser sign.
Grand slam. The Red Sox win it 13-9 of Young Kim. He gets the win in relief. Now, that's the positive. The Red Sox win the game. The Yankees lose, by the way. It's a 4.5 game lead now for the Yankees, but there were a lot of things that happened during the game that Grady Little made some decisions, Tukes. And, you know, managers are going to make decisions during the course of the game. Some will be good, some will be bad, but you were making, never saw you write so much during the game.
So much, I know. You should see my score. Well, the first one is you're playing in the National League, and as a pitcher, you know, you're going to be hit for it. Jeff Suppan was not pitching particularly well. He came up with 1 out and a man on first. I thought they were going to go to the bullpen then. Instead, they elected the sacrifice bunt. So with 2 outs, you have a man on second. And what turned out here, Damon ended up walking, and then actually they had a couple of guys on, and Nomar ended up popping up to end the inning.
So they gave up an out.
But they gave up an out with a guy who wasn't pitching particularly well. That was my first question. The second one comes with running for Ortiz in the 8th inning.
That's the big one. That's the big one. I mean, especially with Manny Ramirez not playing, how do you take that bat out of the lineup in a game that's gone back and forth? That was a very suspect decision.
Well, and especially when you didn't get the advantage in base running speed that you pinch run for. There was no Merloni for Ortiz is a wash. They're both going to score on sacrifice fly. If you're going on contact, I still don't think Merloni's the type of guy that would be running in that situation.
And then, Tukes, Merloni comes in. They end up getting out of that same situation the Phillies were in. They leave that guy stranded.
Right. They left him there, and actually there was a walk there, but they could not get the runner in, and the situation came up where I think the Sox left 13 guys on base, and so that was the second question. And then Timlin, Timlin came in and he did an unbelievable job. But to me, that changed the game. That was going to be the big part of this game. And I said it before he went out for the 8th. Don't put him back out there. Now, everyone's saying, well, why is that? You just get out of the inning. Well, that's exactly why you don't bring him back out there, because you know what? He comes in a tight situation with the bases loaded. He has a long inning, and he starts the bottom of the 8th, and he gets a sinker up, and Ledet hits it to center field, and it's a tie game. Timlin was pacing in the dugout at that time. As a pitcher, you expend so much energy trying to get out of the inning that he was in the 7th. I think that you just kind of wasted. Embry comes in now facing Tomey. They walked Abreu to get the Lieberthal. He gets hit with a pitch. You bring in Tomey to face Embry. Tomey was 0 for 6 lifetime against Embry, but Tomey is a dead fastball hitter. You got to get him out with a diet of off-speed stuff and high fastballs. Allen doesn't have a big breaking curveball, and it was like throwing meat to the lion.
And your last manager's decision was?
Where's Manny?
Where's Manny? And we're hopefully going to find that out
in San Diego
in just a little bit. Let's take a timeout, though, here on WB Mason's Extra Innings, and it's Kodak bringing us the snapshots of the game. Kodak, perfect touch processing, helping you to make the most of every picture.
Every batter who steps up to the plate has one goal in mind: to go home. But not everyone knows how to get there. Nomar does. He's focused, dedicated, disciplined, consistent. There's no place like home. Just ask Nomar. Tomorrow night, Sox-White Sox coverage at 7:30 on Nesson.
There's a new vanilla in town. Introducing Pepsi Vanilla. The perfect blend of cola and vanilla.
That's awesome.
That's not so vanilla.
Skate!
It's Hollywood and hockey back on the ice again as hockey's greatest skate for America's bravest at the 4th annual Celebrity Hat Trick.
Here comes Bart.
Oh! Don't miss NHL legends and your favorite stars teaming up to benefit the Leary Firefighters Foundation.
By the way, cheating is not beyond us.
Catch all the action Sunday, September 28th at the Fleet Center in Boston. Call now for tickets or log on to LearyFirefighters.org.
All right, this is going to probably take about 30 minutes to go through the box score today. In fact, we're not even going to show you the pitchers that hit today because there's just too many that are showing up in this box score. Decipher that for me.
Everyone played. Almost everybody.
There's a guy named Manny Ramirez that didn't play. And also Bill Hasselman was just called up, too, and he didn't get in the ball game. David Ortiz has filled in admirably in that cleanup spot. He goes 2 for 3. That was a big double that he had.
It was a very big double. You know, Nomar had a situation in the first inning, 2 walks to the first two guys, Damon and Walker, on like 9 pitches, and Nomar swings at the first pitch and fouls it back and swings at the second pitch and grounds into a double play. So, but that's who Nomar is. That's how he's going to play, and you take that with With what he does.
Red Sox, 13 runs on 13 hits. They committed 2 errors. And for the Philadelphia Phillies, 9 runs. They had 14 hits and 1 error. The Red Sox left 13 on base, but a 13-9 win for the Red Sox. And what about Jeff Supon's pitching today? What'd you make of that?
He wasn't sharp. I don't think he pitched particularly well. He did go 6 innings, and that maybe is why they went into the decision with Grady in that he didn't want to go to the bullpen to give some people some time off, whatever. There's an off day coming up on Thursday, so, you know, I think you got to ride the ponies and get some. You got to win these ball games, and the guys can rest on Thursday. But, you know, he wasn't sharp. He wasn't particularly good, but he got some outs.
I think your point about pinch hitting for him early, I think when a pitcher's not pitching well, if you're posting zeros at that point, you're willing to give up the out. But at that point, when he really wasn't all that sharp, I mean, you're willing to get rid of him early.
No, it was, let's see, the score was 4-4 at the time. Guy on first and 1 out. You know, I've been pitch hit for that in many situations similar to that based on the way I was pitching, and it worked out today for Grady.
What else worked out for the Red Sox and Grady Little today? The Toronto Blue Jays. They give the ball to Roy Halladay, and the Yankees can't rain this game out because it's up in Toronto. I mean, last time they were going to face Halladay, they banged the game out and didn't play it. Derek Jeter will miss the entire series against Toronto with that muscle strain in his rib cage. Josh Phelps will punch an RBI single to right center field off David Wells. Toronto goes up 2-1, and then that's all you need for Roy Halladay. Juan Rivera, a strikeout picks up. Aaron Boone, he is also looking for some space on the bench. Halladay, a complete game 4-hitter, gives up 1 run, walks just 1, strikes out 10. It's his 5th complete game this season. Wow. So up to the minute now, the Red Sox 4.5 games out.
Well, you know, yesterday it was 5.5. Everyone's up in arms. Today they go. Tomorrow it could be 3.5, and everyone, you know, it's got to be a day-to-day thing here. They're hanging tough in both.